Good morning everyone, Jai Shri Krishna. Today I'll start chapter 15 of Bhagwad Gita, which is called Purushottam Yoga, which means Yoga of Supreme Divine Personality. I'll briefly talk about this yoga and recite its 20 verses explaining its meaning. In this chapter, Sri Krishna explains this material world in a graphic manner to help Arjuna develop detachment from it. He compares the material world to an upside down Ashwath tree, means tree of sacred fig. The embodied soul wanders up and down the branches of the tree from lifetime to lifetime without comprehending from where it originated, how long it has existed, and how it keeps growing. The roots of the tree are above, as it has its source in God. The chapter describes this symbolism in detail to convey the idea how the embodied soul suffering in this material world only keeps perpetuating its bondage here in ignorance of the nature of this tree of material existence. Sri Krishna explains that the acts of detachment must be used to cut down the tree. Then we must search for the base of the tree, which is the Supreme Lord Himself. Finding the source, we must surrender to Him in the manner described in this chapter, and then will attain the divine abode of God, from which we will not return to the material world again. Sri Krishna then describes how the souls in this world are divine, being His eternal fragmental parts. But bound by material nature, they are struggling with the six senses, including the mind. The ignorant neither realize the presence of the soul in the body, nor when it departs from it upon death. But yogis perceive it with the eyes of knowledge and by the purity of their mind. In the same way, God is also present in His creation, but He needs to be perceived with the eyes of knowledge. The chapter ends with explanations of the term Kshara, Akshara, and Purushottama. Kshara are the perishable beings of the material realm. Akshara are the liberated beings in the abode of God. And Purushottam is the Supreme Divine Personality, who is the unchanging controller and sustainer of the world. He is transcendental to both perishable and imperishable beings. He must be worshipped with all our being. Verses 1-20. Shri Bhagwana Uvacha Urdhvamoolamadaha Sakham Shrutham Praharavyayam Chaddansi Yashya Paranani Yastam Vedasa Vedavita Adashrodhva Prashutastasya Sakha Guna Pravutta Vishya Prabalaha Adashva Mulanya Nunanta Thani Karmanu Bandhina Manushya न रूपम श्येह तथोपलभ्यते नान्तो न चादिन च सम्रतिष्ठा अश्वत्थमेनं सुविरूढमूल मदशन्न स्त्रेण दटेन चित्वा ततः पदं तत्पीरमार्गितव्यं तस्मिन् न निर्वर्तन्ति भूयः तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यतः प्रवृत्तिः प्रसुतः पुराणे निर्माण मोहाजित संगदोपा अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामः त्वते विर्मुक्ताः सुखदुःखः संसर्गच्छ अन्त्यमूढाः पदमव्ययं ततः न तत्ता सहते सूर्यो न शशांको न पावकः यद्दत्वा न निर्वर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम। ममेवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूतः सनातनः मनः षष्ठीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कपीते। शरीरं यद्वा प्रोते यच्च प्रकृतिमतीश्वरः गुणित्वै तानि संयाति वायुर्गन्ता निवासयात्। श्रोत्रं चक्षुः स्पर्शनं च रसनं घ्राणमेव च अधिष्ठाय मनश्राय विषयानुपसेवते। उत्कामन्तं स्थितं वापि भुजानां वा गुणान्वितं विमूढानानुपश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषः। ययन्तो योगिनैश्चैवनं पश्यन्तात्मव्यवस्थितं ययन्तो प्रकृत्यात्मानो नैनं पश्यन्त चेतसः। यदा दिव्यगतं तेजो जगद्भासयते अखिलं यच्चन्द्रमसि यच्चाग्रौ तजेतो विद्धि मामकम्। गामाविश्या च भूतानि धारयाम्यहमोजसा पुष्णामि चोदशी हि सर्वाः सोमो भूत्वा रसात्मकः। अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणपानसमायुक्तः पचाम्यन्नं चतुर्विधम्। सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मतः स्मृतिज्ञानं मोहं च वैदेष्व सर्वरहेमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकद्ये ददीदेव चाहम्। द्राविमो पुरुषो लोके क्षरक्षाक्षर एव च क्षरः सर्वाणि भूतानि कूटस्थोऽक्षर उच्यते। उत्तमपुरुषं सत्यन्य परमात्मेयु दाह्यतः यो लोकत्रयमाविश्य बिभर्त्यव्यय ईश्वरः। यस्माक्षरममितोऽहं क्षरादपि चोत्तमः अतोऽस्मि लोके वेदे च प्रथितः पुरुषोत्तमः। यो मावेमसम्मूढो जानाति पुरुषोत्तमं स सर्वविद्ति जति मां सर्वभावेन भारत। इति गुह्यतं शास्त्रमिदमुक्तं मध्याह्नद्यम् एतबुद्धो विद्वा बुद्धिमानस्यात् कृतकृतश्च भारत. Which means the Supreme Divine Personality said to Arjuna, they speak of an eternal aswat tree with its root above the branches below. Its leaves are Vedic hymns, and one who knows the secret of this tree is the knower of the Vedas. The branches of the tree extend upward and downward, nourished by the three gunas, with the objects of the senses as tender birds. The roots of the tree hang downward, causing the flow of karma in the human form. Below, its roots branch out, causing karmic actions in the world of humans. The real form of this tree is not perceived in this world, neither its beginning nor end, nor its continued existence. But this deep-rooted ashwat tree must be cut down with a strong axe of detachment. Then one must search out the base of the tree, which is the Supreme Lord, from whom streamed forth the activity of the universe a long time ago. Upon taking refuge in Him, one will not return to this world again. Those who are free from vanity and delusion, who have overcome the evil of attachment, who dwell constantly in the Self and God, who are freed from the desire to enjoy the senses and are beyond the dualities of pleasure and pain, such liberated personalities attain my eternal abode. Neither the sun nor the moon nor fire can eliminate that supreme abode of mind. Having gone there, one does not return to this material world again. The embodied soul in this material world are my eternal fragmental parts, but bound by material nature, they are struggling with the six senses, including the mind. As the air carries fragrance from one place to another place, so does the embodied soul carry the mind and senses with it when it leaves an old body and enters a new one. Using the senses, perceptions of the ears, eyes, skin, tongue, and nose, which are grouped around the mind, the embodied soul savors the objects of the senses. The ignorant do not perceive the soul as it resides in the body and as it enjoys sense objects, nor do they perceive it when it departs. But those who possess the eyes of knowledge can behold it. Striving yogis too are able to realize the soul enriched in the body. However, those whose mind are not purified cannot cognize it, even though they strive to do so. Know that I am like the brilliance of the sun that illuminates that entire solar system. The radiance of the moon and the brightness of the fire also come from me. Permeating the earth, I nourish all living beings with my energy. Becoming the moon, I nourish all plants with the juice of life. It is I who take the form of the fire of digestion in the stomachs of all living beings and combine with the incoming and outgoing breaths to digest and assimilate the four kinds of food. I am seated in the hearts of all living beings, and from me come memory, knowledge, as well as forgetfulness. I alone am to be known by all the Vedas, and the author of the Vedanta, and the knower of the meaning of the Vedas. There are two kinds of beings in creation, the Kshara, perishable, and the Akshara, imperishable. The perishable are all beings in the material realm. The imperishable are the liberated beings. Besides this is the Supreme Divine Personality, who is the indestructible Supreme Soul. He enters the three worlds as unchanging controller and supports all living beings. I am transcendental to the perishable world of matter and even to the imperishable soul. Hence, I am celebrated both in the Vedas and Smritis as the Supreme Divine Personality. Those who know me without doubt as the Supreme Divine Personality truly have complete knowledge. O Arjuna, they worship me with their whole being. I have shared this most secret principle of the Vedic scriptures with you, O sinless Arjuna. By understanding this, a person becomes enlightened and fulfills all that is to be accomplished. अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता पुरुषोत्तम अध्याय संपूर्णम्. Namaste.